One box. Here we go. All right, everybody. How's everybody doing? So we are Facebook Live, MasterSpas, Ben and Mary. Can I get a sound check, please? That stupid oil truck comes home as soon as we go live.
The oil truck. We had the heater just a minute ago that we finally just turned on.
So I've got a thing about repetitive, annoying sounds. I don't like them. And I always stop them, and I'm gonna go, can you hear that? That goes right into my brain and then and squeezes it. All right, let's get some folks on here. We need a sound check. I've got no one on here yet. 2 people, there we go. So if you're hopping on, let us know where you're watching from and say hello. All right, and I promise this truck will be done backing in momentarily. Neil, how are you? We just got the heat was squeaking. The belt on the heat was squeaking because it's cold here. So we turned that on. I had just gotten over that. Rachel, oh, how's Damien?
Hi, Rach.
All right, 5 people. Someone please give us a sound check. Susan, actually on this Facebook Live, there is a new voice enhancement mode. And I did try that without testing it. So if it's terrible, I need to know right now, although I'm not sure that I can actually do anything about it now that the ship has left the port. So MasterSpas, hello, sound is good. Thank you, Kayla. All right, get a few people. Rachel. All right, awesome to hear from you. So today what we're talking about is, Mom, how are you? Love you. We're talking about Joe and Terry, who, as you know, are Mary's parents. And we were actually just sort of shocked at the realization that they've been exercising in swim spas for about 5 years, which seems unbelievable to me, but the last 5 years has gone by so fast. Rachel said, is there someone else in there with you? I can see a hand. Yes, that is Joe. That is Mary's father. So Terry was not feeling well, nothing serious, a cold. So she bowed out today, and the 3 of us are going to have a little meeting, a little update on the Facebook Live about their fitness journey. And I'm still in disbelief that it has been 5 years, which is pretty fantastic. So I just want to say hello to everyone. Rachel, please send a message with Damien's latest update on all of his injuries. Folks, Damien, Rachel, they're a dealer in the UK. They're beloved friends, awesome people. And Damien was hurt on a bicycle accident, a very serious one, but he is doing well. And we were super psyched to hear that. Lauren, how are you? Okay. So 12 people. We'll give another couple of minutes here before we get rolling. Everyone say hi, where you're watching from. We appreciate that. And what else? All right. Yeah, we're in Connecticut. We're home. It's cold. It's terrible. Actually, I'm going to go one further. It sucks. I don't like it. I'm not ready for it. And I'm turning into a baby every year I get older. All right. Okay. So, Mary, I'm going to pass the phone to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you run the interview. And I'm going to slosh around in the nice water. It's 98 degrees in here. Yeah. And it's awesome.
Well, maybe we should leave it there and we can, so that we can see. Dad, you want to come?
You guys get in.
Yeah.
How's that?
All right. This is my dad. This is Joe. And normally my mom would be here, but again, she wasn't feeling well today. She was very disappointed, but she's on the mend. And so, yeah, we actually, just as we were getting started here, my dad mentioned that it's been, almost, if not over 5 years that they've been exercising in the swim spa. And they started, we had a trainer 15. This is how he remembered it. We had a trainer 15, and that was about 5 years ago. And it did not have this wonderful soft tread padding.
Okay, the soft tread was so great.
We agree. And he ended up getting like a cheap pair of water shoes so that he wouldn't slip before we got the padding, the non-slip padding. And now we have that, and it's made such a big difference. And so since we've had the Challengers in this warehouse, we've always had the non-slip. So it makes such a big difference for a lot of the exercises that they do neither of them are swimming in the swim spa. They're doing more foundational and stretching and stability and strengthening exercises. Balancing. Yeah. And I know, knowing them both very well, that balance and stability is huge, because as they've aged, the fear of falling and the risk of falling is much higher than for younger people. So they are very aware of that. And they do a lot of balance and stability exercises in here to build those muscles, and so that they, to help prevent falling or tripping and falling. So do you want to say some of the exercises that are your favorite?
Can I say one of my unfavorites?
Yeah.
This is live. You can do whatever you want. You only just
One of my unfavorites is the step up.
Step down.
Step down, where you have to step on the step on the steps, and then you sit down, and then you get up. That's one of my unfavorites.
How come?
It's hard. When you get to 25 and 26, you can say, when's 30 coming?
So I'm going to pop in here. On that note, the step downs are one of my favorites. And it's not because they're so easy and fun to do, it's because they're so good. But I will add that on the 15 foot, on the Challenger, on the Trainer, and that's the one obviously that we live in, the step is big. So if you're doing that, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So the step on that bottom step is a good,
I don't know.
That's a foot.
It is a foot?
That's a 12-inch step. That's a big step to do step downs on. And it's going to be hard, and that's why he doesn't like it, but he still does it.
I do it.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Just like your mom, she says
Absolutely.
it's the one thing they know it's helpful. But Ben's mom too, it's the one that it's like a non-negotiable. She made sure she does it every time.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned, I don't know if I learned it, and maybe it's part of it anyway, but I noticed that we have a tendency when you're doing it to push off with your toe, which gives you like a little boost. And that's easier to do. If you don't push off with that toe, with your toe, just lift up with your leg, it's a lot, your whatever muscle that is, gets a much better workout than if you push off with your toe.
All right. I think I hang my toe right at the edge.
Well, no, I'm talking about your other foot.
Oh, okay.
You push with that toe sometimes, and it makes it a lot easier.
The one that's going down.
Yeah. So if you don't do that,
I want you not doing that. No hiding.
No, that's what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he
I
said,
don't do that.
Right. Good.
But it's that makes it a lot easier if you do that.
Because it's cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah. All right.
But nobody ever told me that before, that you weren't supposed to do that.
I guess.
Yeah, we never really talked about that.
I guess we never clarified that. Okay. So I'm going to comment here. And part of the whole thing when we talk about Mike Wright, how are you? So part of the thing that when it comes to the balance and the stability, and it's all sort of the same thing, and a lot of you have heard me, with my stability pitch before. I've been saying this for years since the gym, since day one. I've owned a gym, or I don't anymore, but owned a gym from 2003 for a long time. That's how we met. Was they were members of the gym. So the whole family, it was like at that time was the whole family, or a good portion of it. So what you have is every joint on your body, in particular, your hips, your knees, your shoulders and elbows, but shoulders and knees are the ones that are most focused on and most commonly injured. So you have this joint, right? And then all around it are all these stabilizing muscles. Those muscles, the little ones, have to be strengthened. And if you just go onto a leg press machine and all you do is machines, you're not strengthening the stability muscles. You just not. So the machine is doing that stabilization for you. Whereas free weights is what actually gets that done. Now in the water, you have all sorts of, you have a potential current moving around, water moving around. So it's really fantastic for your stability muscles and all those little ones. And as we age, your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads and chest are all these great big muscles. Well, we're all, sort of wilting away as we get older, but the smaller muscles will go away faster. And those are the ones that in particular are very important to maintain stability and balance. That's the point. Okay, so the step downs are all, knee supporting muscles, stability muscles, stabilizers. It's so important. That is our ultimate defense against falling. And, most of the time with falls, or a lot of the time, someone will take a step down a stair and their hip actually breaks and then they fall. And that's what happens. It's not just they lost balance, but the thing is that balance, that strength maintains, anything you're doing with resistance and weight bearing is going to assist with bone density. So you want to focus on bone density, you want to focus on stability. And that is the fountain of youth. That is, my goal is to race 100 miles an hour to the last day I'm alive with great motion. And that's the hope. And, you talk to my mother, you talk to Mary's parents, they are doing what we all should be doing. And it's fantastic to see. I can't believe it's been 5 years of this.
5 years.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and I make them because they've got to stick around for a while.
She doesn't have to make me.
Right, yeah.
I'm much more of I was telling Ben and Mary one day, my attitude is when I get up, I know I have to go and exercise. So that's what's on my mind. I'll eat breakfast and I'm saying to myself, we have to leave to get to the pool, to the spa. When I'm doing this exercise, I'm saying to myself, oh God, how long is this going to take me to get done? and then when I finish, on my way home, I say, oh, I'm really glad I did that.
Yeah.
So that's my 3 stages of exercising
I think I must have definitely taken after you in that.
I think everybody has that.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
Every time.
I
Once in a while, you.
Yeah. he just whispered, my mom doesn't. But I will say, and I wish she was here to say this in person, but she was just talking about how she has arthritis and spinal stenosis, and the doctor said that at her age that there's not really a lot that she can do surgically or anything like that, but to keep moving, the doctor realizes that she's in a lot of pain when she moves, but it's important to keep moving, and she does experience a lot of pain when she's on earth, on the ground, but she can move like a gazelle when she's in the water, and she does like that.
But I also think since we've been doing the exercises, she has been much better.
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, she moves
She
a
still
lot
has
better.
pain, and some days she has a lot of pain, but it's not anywhere
As
near
much,
as what she used to be.
I
It's
do
helped her a
agree
lot.
with that. And I think, one of the things that really helps here is that the water is warm and it makes it inviting. So when you don't want to exercise, having,
Cold water is the
having
deal
an
breaker,
environment that's great to go to, is a little bit easier to swallow, an easier pill to swallow. So let's just make sure there's no questions. And if anybody has any questions about anything swim spa, hot tub related, exercising, swim spa related, please feel
Joe, they think you're the cutest.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm adorable.
You're the cutest.
Right.
He's pretty cute.
He's pretty cute. I'll say that. Okay, so back to the water temperature. Now, the water temperature is inviting at all ages. Number one reason kids don't want to learn how to swim is cold water. So put them in a MasterSpas swim spa.
Absolutely.
Made in America, American muscle.
Yeah.
So there's my plug. Shameless. I don't care. But that is absolutely true. And now, when you go to aquatic rehab for an injury, which are hard to find, and insurance covers a little bit, blah, 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 they're typically going to be about 92 degrees because that is the temperature of the surface of your skin, and that's where your ligaments and tendons are most pliable, least amount of, injury potential, and it's going to feel really good, okay? Carolyn asked, best exercises for beginners. So, Carolyn, we have so much information out there, and you have in your H2 exercise book that comes with your swim spa, you've got beginner, intermediate and advanced exercises. Also on our YouTube channel, there's tons of videos on exercise. We did 90-day challenges with specific exercises that started very easy and every 2 weeks got harder and harder and harder, and you had to graduate to the next level. It's a fantastic way to start. So there's tons of stuff in there.
Terry and I did the 90-day.
Hop in there. And
Terry
tell
and
them
I
what
did
you've
the
done.
90-day. What is it called? The 90-day challenge.
15 90-day challenge.
15, yeah, and that's online.
Doesn't
So
roll off the tongue.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
well, Terry, my daughter Mary had asked me to bring this. This is the sheet.
He made this sheet, but
No,
was,
It looks like MasterSpas made it.
Yeah, MasterSpas made the sheet. I went online, downloaded it, and printed it. And there's 5. I think there's 5 circuits. I think there's 5.
each one is. I think there were like 5 exercises. Oh, I see what you're saying.
5 circuits. And like Ben said, they start off easy. They get a little bit harder and a little harder. But it's a great exercise to follow, because especially if you're not sure, what should I do? This lasts for, I think you do it for 2 weeks. We do
So
one
each
circuit.
circuit is 2 weeks, and there were 6 circuits total.
Oh, 6? I think it was 5.
Yeah, I think it
That's
was
okay.
90-day. I think it was 6 circuits total.
Yeah.
And one of the things, so my dad had created like his own little routine, and they would do it in the swim spa, and they were kind of getting bored. And so we recommended that they try the 15 90-day challenge, which they did, I think at the beginning of the summer you started it.
We did it 2 cycles.
2 cycles. And then now what they do is they really like the stretching, which is the week 1 and 2, and they incorporated those into some of their everyday circuits because now that they've completed both times, they're using some of those exercises that they know work really well and that they like and that they can do with good form along with the stretching, because you were asking us how you can, or if you should, because he felt like the stretching was really beneficial.
Yeah, I think stretching is, you really need to stretch, because I can tell that I don't stretch as well as, of course, you're not as pliable as you were when you were younger. So I think the stretching really is helpful. I hate to do it, but it's really helpful.
And I know
Everybody hates stretching,
Of
except
one-
for yoga people.
Yeah.
but you do like, I don't know if you like it, but you know that it helps, is the with the paddle, the kickboard.
Oh, yeah. Is that stretching?
Which exercise?
No.
Can you reach
the
it
one
or no?
The one that we do where you push down.
on your foot?
No, the one that we're doing in the circuit where you push down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
That's not a stretch.
I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to pass the camera, and it's not going to be pointing at me. I'm going to climb out, because there's no one's pretty getting out of a hot tub or swim spa. And then I'm going to get the kickboard. I'm also going to the bathroom, because I have to go to the bathroom.
All right. So here we go.
You're so,
So he's going to show
I'm an
us.
open book.
He likes these exercises that you do with the kickboard. There's a kickboard now. There's a couple of exercises that you can do with them.
This is the one that's in the circuit. One of the ones is you push down. I love Ben says when he's doing these exercises, if you listen to the videos, he'll say, squeeze, make sure you squeeze. And I'm always wondering, what the heck are you supposed to squeeze? But anyway, I try to squeeze, whatever it is. But you just push down on the
Kickboard.
push down on the kickboard, and you can really feel it in your abs.
Yeah. So I know that he likes this one because he asked specifically if my parents go to Florida for the winter, and he asked where we could get one of these so that he could do that exercise while he's in the pool in Florida, because they do in Florida they just go to the pool because it's warm, and it's warm all the time when they're there. So that was one exercise that he really wanted to be able to continue. And, it's not a lot of equipment. You can get one of those on Amazon. And,
You can do a lot of it.
yeah.
Do we need another one? I have one at the house.
Oh, okay. They just want to bring it to Florida when they go.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, show the other exercise. No,
Where you push, I put the surfboard, the kickboard, in the
Kickboard.
water and push
yeah, that's a good one.
with your leg like this.
Yep.
And you can do both too, which is a little harder. But it's like doing the squat.
Oh, da.
So if you stand on the side, you can do it's like doing a squat.
Excellent.
Now you don't have to hold on to the filters. You know, we put handles all over.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. You can. It's okay.
Another one that Ben had recommended, doing it up against the current. He recommended this to me one day, is you push to the side
Yep.
like this, and if that gets too easy, try it on one foot.
Did I say to do that?
No.
It's a good idea. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I've said more than I can remember
Right.
at this point.
Well, I remember everything you say, Ben.
Seems like now, I will say that 1 foot on the kickboard, I forgot about that for years. And then when you did it, I was like, that is one of the best exercises in here. That one, to me, is as important as the step downs.
Yeah. This is a good one too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All that mid-range.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can do a lot with this.
Yeah.
Little thing.
Any other exercises that you really like, that you really think are?
You know what I like? I like doing this, the rubber bands, those things.
Oh, the resistance bands.
Oh, it's got to be one.
Okay.
Yeah, which ones? The ones that obviously are going to be on top.
Yeah, they should be.
I like those better than
The rows.
The rose things. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the resistance bands, the longer ones, and he attaches them to the rope attachment, which you roll around the grab bar in the front, and then the handles go on the end. And there's, again, like he just said with the kickboard, there's so many exercises that you can do with these.
Then you can do a row. And then what's this one called when you push up your chest like this?
So pull into your chest as a row. If you turn around, it's chest press.
This is chest press?
No,
No, that's a row.
This is a row. This is chest press?
They're both rows.
Oh,
Both different.
If you turn around and you pull from
Oh, okay.
behind,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right, then you're pushing.
Because would you do this on a
Oh yeah,
this one and this one?
they're just a different version of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Because you're pulling. So you're pulling, and then the other side you turn around, you're pushing different muscles, opposite sides.
And then this is the chest press this way?
Yep. And then yes, right. Then it's the triceps. Yep.
Yeah,
They
I
are,
like
yeah.
this one. I like this one better than the.
The row bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you can also do this. This is another one that we.
Oh, yeah.
Is there another? There's probably others.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically you're replicating the current with the
Yes,
kickboard.
exactly.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but if you don't
And
have
the thing is,
the.
we sort of started to get away from, originally we did that with the dumbbells, but then during COVID, the dumbbell company, that makes.
Yeah, so we don't have the dumbbells anymore.
So we
You
sort
mean
of.
those dumbbells?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for those.
Oh my god! I can't believe everyone watching like what? Everybody wants them. I can't. I had to because my mom got hers. Her swing spot came. I did give them to her, right? They're not still here.
You brought them to her. She has. Yeah.
So, but I had to, pull some strings to get an extra set of them.
Oh,
And then I needed a set for mine, and I like those. So I talk about this all the time. Mary, you'll remember when I tore my bicep.
Yeah.
I did the entire rehab in this swim spa with, it was a different swim spa, same place, with those dumbbells. Fantastic.
Sandy was just commenting that shoulder injury rehab with the bands in here is also really great. Yeah.
Yep, fantastic.
yeah. There's just so many exercises you can do, and it's comfortable. I mean, it's hard.
Right. Yeah.
But
And it takes time.
it takes time. But when you get done, like I said, I get done. I always say to myself, oh, I'm really glad I did that.
We say the same thing after we leave the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's true.
Once in a while, I actually feel like doing it. What do you think? Half? Is that a lot? Maybe half the time I actually want to do it, and the other half I'm forcing myself to do it.
Yeah.
The other thing, like I see, and this might be a selfish thing to say, but I can see a lot of my friends aging, and I feel that I'm in much better physical condition than they are. I think a lot of it is a result of doing these kinds of things.
When you want now, also selfishly, I'm looking at these guys. I'm looking at Joe and Terry, who I spent a lot of time with, and obviously my own mother. When I watch all three of you, when I watch you move, none of you move old.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly, you just, and something else that I said since day one at the gym, we're all trying to maintain youth-like movement.
Yeah.
All of you, I mean, you like it.
Connie agrees with my dad.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like I watch my mother at Thanksgiving, and we're wrestling all these lobsters. We do lobsters for Thanksgiving, so we have all these lobsters, and she's just moving around. She doesn't look
Right.
She moves 40.
Yeah.
All you guys, you walk around. I watch you just get up and go get something. There's no hesitation. You're just up, and that can't be purchased.
Right.
That has to be earned, and the only way that can be earned is by putting in the work. And what ends up happening to all these people, they work their whole lives, they don't put enough time into themselves, and then one day it's too late.
Yeah.
And then there's injuries involved, and you can't do it, and then you're just putting a Band-Aid on something rather than building it from scratch. I mean, ask my mother will comment, Mom, when's the first time that I really said, I want you to start lifting weights? That first weight loss run, I don't even remember what year, it's 20 years ago. And my mom got weights in the basement. I did the program, did the diet, and she got in awesome shape, and she was super dedicated to it. And then what you want to have take over, and you're going to laugh when I say this, once you get fit like that, if you don't do it, you end up with guilt. And the guilt will fuel the rest. And you know what? That's okay as long as you get it done.
Yeah.
It's a little like Catholic guilt.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Any questions on it?
No, because someone did ask about what are some of the exercises that you do, which we did that. I just want to respond, Carolyn.
Another good one is just jogging in place.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another good one. Especially for warm up. We always warm up with a jogging in place. And the nice thing about jogging in place, you can do a little dance while you're doing it. You can kick your feet to the side.
Yeah.
Tell them what you listen to.
Yeah.
Tell them what you listen to when you exercise.
Yeah, we listen mostly to Frank Sinatra because my wife likes Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. When he's by himself, he puts some kind of jazz on usually.
Actually, I don't listen to anything like that.
Oh really?
You don't
Huh.
turn it on at all?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I like quiet.
Okay.
He does, yeah.
Solitude.
Yeah. But I just
Noticed that.
Yeah.
wanted to comment on Carolyn, you asked the best exercises for beginners. And I think if you go to that 90-day challenge and you do the first 2 weeks, which is just stretching, they're really great exercises because then you can build on those. And I mean, like my dad just said, even just running against the current is a great way to get started because you start to feel good and you're like, oh, this is great. And you can start to do lots of other things. So there's so much that you can do in there.
And it doesn't have to always be swimming.
Right.
There's so much else. And I wonder if we actually have the stats on who swims versus who does rehabilitative or resistance type aquatic exercises. I wonder if we actually know the number. I bet you it's a lot less swimming than we think.
Right.
Or maybe we know that. I actually don't know. It's a good Susan question.
Another answer to that woman who wants to know how to get started. I think once you start doing things, you say to yourself, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And you say, I feel pretty good about this. So, and you want to do more. I mean, I watch the videos that Mary and Ben make, and I say to myself, I want to be able to do that, and I'm going to do that. And sometimes I have to start with 12 to get to 20, but you can get.
Oh, right.
You can easily get there after a few days.
Yep. Well, the water is very gentle, so
Yeah.
I know you're going to remember this, and you're going to giggle when I say this. You may have overheard this, but way back in the day when we were racing Ironman, the whole thing with runners is you want a forefoot strike. So picture this is your foot. This is a heel strike if you're running that way. That's a heel strike. That's a neutral, and that's a forefoot strike. The goal is a forefoot strike. The fastest running style is a forefoot strike. It's also the least prone to injury. But to change over from a heel strike takes 90 days of training in dry land.
Really?
And you can do it in 30 in water.
Oh.
So that tells you that tells you everything you need to know, because you don't have the muscle soreness because of huge reduction of gravity.
Pretty easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it does work. It really does work.
Actually, it would be very hard with the heel.
Yeah.
In the water, yeah.
You end up locking your knee and you look like a normal. Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, yes, this is a 15 deep. And the one thing he was saying it's recommended over the 15 regular. It just really depends on what you're using it for, and the 15 regular is great. It's just not going to be as deep, so you're not going to get as much reduction. I was going to say resistance. Reduction of, gravity on your joints and your muscles as you would if you're deeper in the water. So the deeper you are in the water, the less you weigh, essentially, which means just the less impact of gravity. So if you're, for example, like Ben or my dad, who are both similar height, if they were in the 15 shallow, it would only be about like belly height.
Yeah, that water would be 9 inches.
This.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So you're not getting as much, and you're also not getting as much resistance on some of the exercises. So like walking against the current is going to be actually harder resistance wise in the deeper water.
And we don't,
Right. Exactly. Someone said more buoyancy. Right.
on the lives, we're not really upselling, certain things. We sort of, there's a different seat for every butt, but there is usually more benefit to the deeper water for most people. Socially speaking, I'm 5'8". Socially speaking, the shallow one, if this was at a lake house and I was, having fun with the family and partying and interacting, well, at 5'8", I guess over here it would be a little different socially. But for exercise, the deeper is going to be, much more significant and give you a lot more to grow into and a lot more capability.
And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but I think MasterSpas probably sells more deep than the regular.
The 15
deep, yeah.
Most sold swim spa on the planet. Period.
Yeah.
By a long way. I mean, they just.
Yeah. Yeah.
15D is just fantastic. You can't go wrong with that swim spa.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's number one. So for sure.
And then one thing I do want to say, kind of talking about what my dad was saying earlier, is that this has kind of become a routine. And, typically my parents come at least, 3, 4, even sometimes 5 times a week, and it's become part of their daily routine. And that's part of what exercise is making it, putting it into your schedule, and it is part of your daily routine. Some people will even recommend, put it in your calendar. Ben and I have been practicing, actually putting our phones on Do Not Disturb during that exercise time, because it is so important for longevity and health and
focus.
Yeah.
And clarity. Mary and I struggle with that, with the Do Not Disturb on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm always conscious of if someone, reaches out, I want to answer back as quickly as possible, and I really try my hardest. But the downside of having that sort of feeling is that you're a slave to the phone, to the stupid phone, and I don't want to be. And when we exercise, I want that time is for us, and we have started Do Not Disturb. Of course, I have a list of people that are allowed to disturb, and also the people who contact me most. So it still doesn't freaking work, but that has to be.
And just as even my mom and dad, sometimes they have things that, affect their coming here. And one of them, I will say, is that they love to have their grandkids come over for breakfast when they're home from school and things like that. And I've told my dad, I said, those kids all exercise. My nieces and nephews all exercise, and they wouldn't sacrifice their exercise to come for breakfast. So tell them to come after they're done working out. And that's what they've started doing, is because that's another important thing, obviously, for them. But they've been saying, come, a little bit later in the morning so that we can get our exercise in too. And that's important too. So finding that balance, of course, is always challenging, but it's important. Yep. So any other questions? I think
I have one more comment. Was it Colleen who asked about the beginner exercises?
Carolyn.
Carolyn, when you get started, it's always the most daunting time.
Yeah.
Always. And you're always like, what do I do? I don't know what I'm doing. I would encourage you so strongly to look at those videos, look at that 15, 90-day challenge. Don't let the challenge name, intimidate you at all. Do the first 2 weeks of it, because what ended up happening, and it's always fun to watch Joe and Terry, because all this stuff that we've done, professionally for Master and all these programs, well, they're doing it here, and then we get to see what happens afterwards. And, they have us if they have a question, we're right here, so they ask. But what's ended up happening now is they sort of took all this giant bowl of exercises, and now they're hand-picking them. Mm-hmm. And through this process, they know what they're doing. And now when we get a question, I'm like, wow, that's a serious question. That's not, where do I put my elbow on this one? It's,
right.
Can I mix these circuit pieces and do this on this day? And I'm like, wow, that's not a beginner question, and it's fantastic. And you will start to feel so solid in those exercises, but it just takes that first step. And I fully understand how daunting that is. Every time, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what your fitness level is, you will feel that same way. This past August, Mary and I started CrossFit. We've never done it before.
Yeah.
The whole thing. We've been lifting weights and Ironman and done all this stuff for 35 years or something. I've been lifting weights for 32 years. And we started something new. I was nervous. No one, very rarely do people have as much time under tension on these old muscles that I do. And I went there, I was nervous. So it's normal. And the only way to get started is to just take that first step. And you know what? When you watch those videos, pick a couple of the exercises, go in the swim spa and try them, and you'll say, okay, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And then you're off to the races. And then that's the first brick on the foundation, and you will be amazed at how you feel and grow it from there.
So, again, to Carolyn and starting off these exercises, Ben says this one thing, but I got to ask him right now, what does he mean by that? Because he always says, squeeze. Get that?
Oh, yeah, when you went into the bathroom.
I heard you talking.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Ben?
Okay, so when you squeeze a muscle, so this is like a bodybuilder thing.
Yeah.
So there's different kinds of muscle fibers, right? Bodybuilders want to be really big, but powerlifters want to be really powerful. But powerlifters are way stronger than bodybuilders, but they're not nearly as big. So how can that happen? It happens because bodybuilders squeeze those muscles. So when you do a curl, picture you don't have any weight. You just bring your hand here and you flex that muscle. Flexing and squeezing is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So that's probably the easiest answer to that.
Okay.
If you flex, and if you slow down and think you could squeeze and flex every muscle, you can flex your stomach muscles.
Yeah.
You can flex,
exactly.
You make stupid faces. Doesn't matter. This is about you, but that's what squeezing means.
Okay.
It's flexing, the same thing.
Because I do the exercise. I wonder if I'm squeezing, and I'll do that. I want to squeeze.
Let's squeeze something. I'm squeezing something. This could go so south from
Yes.
that. We're going to stop right there. Not let my weird brain and funny sense of humor, dirty sense of humor go south from here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Squeezing. Answer.
Yes. So if anything today, we encourage you to just get started.
Get started, yeah.
Start moving in the water. Don't be nervous. If you have any questions, let us know. you know,
Actually, I'll say that, and I'm going to regret this. Are we doing okay? Oh, it's time.
yeah.
We always say, if you have a question, specific question, put it in the inbox to MasterSpas on the Facebook page and just put on top, this is to Ben or Mary or whatever, and we will get it. We will eventually get it. There's obviously a lot of messages that go in there, so we don't always see them. Every time I look at it, it's 9+ on messages in there, and honestly, I don't sift through them because most of them are not for us.
Yeah.
98%, 99% are not for us. So if you have a question, you can reach out to us that way. You can also put it on the live. If you put it into customer service, they will actually forward it to us.
Yeah.
It's true. So I've said that many times. We don't get a lot except for on the live. Once in a while, we'll get one, but we are accessible. So if you have a specific question, answer. Ask it.
Please. Yeah.
Okay. And I know it's uncomfortable to get started. I cannot say that enough. We've been in the fitness industry a long, long time. Just take the first step.
Yep.
And you will be overjoyed.
You will love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks, I think. Again, you always know we try to keep you posted on that, but hopefully we'll see you then. And we hope everyone has a great night. Bye.